In the last few years, real wages have gone down and inflation has gone up. We're talking about up 20% or so on Joe Biden's watch. Things like we talk all the time, bread. Someone told me the other day they spent $13 on a loaf of bread. I thought, what?
That was Fox News host Maria Bartiromo blaming President Joe Biden for someone buying $13 bread. What? That was, again, during a Thursday Fox News segment about the economy. So first off, in the segment, host Sandra Smith noted that Biden is saying, oh, well, look at how good the economy is, right? So now this comes as recent polling from, ironically, Fox News found that more people are actually feeling better about the economy. In fact, 32% believe that the United States economy is in excellent or good shape, and this is actually better than at any other time in the Biden administration. I mean, seeming how we're, coming off a pandemic, shutdown. Yeah, okay. People are, feeling a little bit more optimistic. 37% now say that they approve of Biden's handling of inflation. And now 41% approve of the president's handling of the economy, which is his highest rate in more than 2 years. Now, that said, Donald Trump still polls better on the economy. I'm not sure why. I mean, during the Trump administration, he gave massive tax cuts to rich people, and there was a pandemic that shut down the economy. Yeah, that happened. And look, people go, wow, we had low gas prices back then. Yeah, the fact that we had low gas prices because millions of people were not able to drive. Okay, you had people that had to stay in their homes because millions of people were getting sick, and a lot of them were dying. They weren't driving anywhere. Had there not been a pandemic, companies, by the way, would also have not used that excuse to be able to massively inflate prices as they have. And this is all while they're sitting on top of massive corporate profits. Okay. Look, at the end of the day, do I believe that Congress and Biden have done enough on reining in these corporations, reining in greedflation? No. No, I don't believe that. Now, that said, do I think Trump would do a better job? Absolutely not. He would do a better job at making corporations even richer and eroding even more labor protections and making average family members poorer, okay, and destroying the environment. So he would allow corporations to rob us even more than they do now, even more blatantly. So, I mean, either way, yes, the average persons, we're getting ripped off by these companies, by corporations, by the wealthy, etc. It's just under Trump, it's even more blatant. It's even, the heist is bigger, okay? Now, the example here is $13 bread, okay? Now, she made it sound like, Bartiromo did, that, oh, you're going to go to the store, you're going to go to Walmart, and there's $13 bread. What? No, that's not what's going on. Okay, that's not real. Right now, Walmart is charging around $1.50 for a loaf of bread. That's not $13 bread. All right, so where did she get this? I mean, you could safely assume that she pulled this out of her ass. But I did a little digging, and I found a story from last month. This is from the Hawaiian island of Kauai. There was a specific brand of bread. By the way, everything costs more in Hawaii. Okay, so let's be honest, they've got a higher unhoused population. They've got massive, even more inflation than on the mainland because, well, as Trump says, they're an island.
Water,
surrounded by
big water, ocean water.
So, I mean, yes, things are more expensive in Hawaii. All right. But they found a loaf of Love's jumbo wheat bread at a Kauai Times supermarket in Lihue. That was $13. There it is. I mean, there's proof. Biden! Okay. No. Now, the manufacturer had been local to Hawaii until they went out of business in 2021. Now, a company from Portland ended up buying the brand and started manufacturing it in Portland. Okay? That means that if they're going to make it, well, obviously they're making the bread, they got to ship it out. They got to ship it out to Hawaii. They got to freeze it, ship it. That costs money. And so add to that inflation, inflationary pressures, stocking, etc., and profit margins, things like that. Yeah, you're going to get this particular brand $13. Now, they could manufacture it in Hawaii, and I believe maybe there's one place that does that, but they have to source it locally, make it locally, which again is going to increase the price. Okay. That said, right? Yes, that's $13. Other stores have it between $8 and $11, according to articles from the time. Again, this is all last month, and at the same time, you have that versus bread that you can get in other places that, yes, is still more expensive because it is Hawaii, but it's not $13 a loaf, all right? It's anywhere from $4 to $6, like Costco or something like that. So it's again, it is more expensive, but it also is more expensive to live in Hawaii, all right? So the reason that I'm giving you all this information, all this background, all this context is important because it really illustrates what Fox News does. Did they mention any of this? No. They said, oh, I somebody bought $13 bread. Thanks, Biden. Biden inflation. Wages are down. Joe Biden inflation. Now, here's the thing, though. Our wages actually are up. You probably don't feel it, right? Because inflation is also up. Wages have actually outpaced inflation for the most part. For at least the last 12 months in a row, wages have risen more than inflation, but not by much. All right. And so because inflation is up, people's money, the more that they get paid, it doesn't really go as far because you've got this additional inflation that's eating up your extra cash. So you have that. We're all feeling inflationary pressures for sure. I absolutely do. But that's the reality. Now, while we're feeling inflation, corporations are sitting on record profits. I don't know if I keep mentioning that enough. Record profits. That means that companies are not only raise their prices for inflation, which we can understand, right? In reaction to the inflationary measure or things that drive inflation of their materials, increased costs for fuel and shipping costs and things like that. Okay, we understand that. Okay, the thing is, they have then added on to it. They said, well, inflation, we had to raise it that much more just to cover our own costs. But in reality, no, they're adding a bunch more on the top to the prices. That's why they have record profits. If you only raised your prices as a reflection of, hey, we're just trying to cover our additional costs, then you wouldn't have record profits. Okay, you would be, breaking even, or your profit margins would be a lot less if you were profitable before. But no, they're sitting on record profits. So understand what's going on, the robbery that's happening, okay? So now, that said, the super rich are also richer than ever. Their combined wealth just hit $14.2 trillion. That's globally. In America, the combined wealth of the nation's 806 billionaires actually reached a record of $5.8 trillion as of April 1st. So understand that the reason that I bring them up is because these are the people that pay Maria Bartiromo, okay, to bring up a month-old edge case like this to get and give you zero context. It's supposed to be news, right? It's supposed to be Fox Business. Well, they didn't talk about that at all. All they said was, Biden's America, inflation, $13 bread. Wait, the whole purpose, though, is to try to promote Donald Trump. And they do that by ignoring the real issues that are causing inflation, which, again, is corporate greed, right? Knowing that Donald Trump, if he gets elected, he's going to give these companies, which are already wealthy, and the wealthy, more tax cuts. That's right. They're going to get more tax cuts. They're going to get regulated even less. They're going to get deregulated, which is going to save them even more money. None of that actually helps you at all. because they don't pass down the savings. When they get a tax cut and they don't pay in, for example, AT&T didn't pay any taxes in 2021 at all. And they got massive amounts of money from the government, right? And what happened? Did they pass on the savings to you? No. No. Your bills go up. They increase. And not only that, but AT&T actually laid off a bunch of people. Fired them. Gone. So, and they took all that extra money and they put it into stock buybacks, because that's what these companies have been doing. All right. They take all their a lot of their extra profits and they do stock buybacks, which of course helps executive compensation. They also take some of that money that they have saved and funnel it into politicians. They funnel it into politicians and they funnel it into the media. People like Fox, or I should say organizations, channels like Fox News and people like Maria Bartiromo, who are basically paid to lie to you. Okay? Billionaires paying millionaires to lie to you and to get you to vote for someone who is actively going to help make them even richer. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.